So here we have this week's latest sneaker news. Not too many releases that have surfaced, but I'll try and go through the ones that have. The first one up on the list is on the 17th of October, the Billie Eilish Converse Chuck Taylor by You. Surprise announcement in the sense that it wasn't, I suppose, expected, and it's a kind of similar to the Nike ID where you can customize the panels and the midsole and things like that. So in that respect, it's another one of those sort of Converse type pieces of footwear that is, in my opinion, sort of very run of the mill. This is obviously a really old silhouette, but obviously some people are a fan of it. Me personally, I'm not. And then on the 25th and also 31st of October, we've got the Maniere Nike MX95. So as far as I see, there's two different colorways, and there's another one, the colorway that I like, which is the lighter shade one, which is releasing, I think, in February or in spring of 2025. And this one's still nice. It still looks really cool. And I think, once it kind of releases on the 25th at Maniere and then 31st on the sneakers app, then I think people will still be going for it. But me personally, I probably wouldn't be going for it. Like I said, I'd rather wait for the other colorway. And then also what we have in October is the Adidas Doctor Strange pack. And I'm guessing this is going to be coming out pretty soon. It seems to be consisting of a Gazelle indoor and then also a Handball Special. And I think there's also the New York model, which is similar to the Silver Birch sneaker that came out recently. And then in October, we've also got the Central C Nike Air Max 95. And this one is fine, it's at the Air Max 95 at the end of the day, but it seems to be quite sort of blacked out with some gold hits over it. I think, you need to see better pictures of this particular sneaker to make a full judgment. And then in November, we've got the Nike Dunk Low Armory Navy Denim. And this is a nice sneaker, but it's one of those sneakers that I suppose, I'm just not too much of a fan of the standard Nike Dunk, really. And, it seems to be another one that's sort of wheeled out. And then in November, we've also got a Sporty and Rich collab for the popular SL72. And I don't know, about in the US, but this is a popular silhouette, especially in the sort of UK and EU at the moment, and part of the whole sort of slim profile sort of series. And I find them okay in terms of comfortability, but there's other trainers that I'd rather wear versus these. But the colorways are sort of average to me. I think obviously the best out of the bunch is probably the blue pair. And then on the 19th of November, there's the Nike Lebron 22 Monopoly. And this one, I think just the silhouette in general just doesn't look very appealing to me at all. And comparing it to, say, the 21, which was quite nice, and then the 20, which I think was probably the best one to be released in sort of recent years, this one just seems a bit of a downgrade. And then in spring 2025, we've got the Air Jordan 3 Valentine's Day. And this is another one, obviously it's not meant for me, it's meant for the ladies, but it just feels quite sort of average. And this is like a more of an official pick. And for me, again, just not a fan of this particular colourway. This is another Nike Dunk Low Year of the Snake. And this one's coming out, obviously spring 2025, which will probably be in January. And it's a nice looking sneaker. I like the little mini swoosh on it and the little sort of thread going around it. I'm sure there are more details in it, being Year of the Snake version. But, for me, I'm just not a fan of like dunks in general. And then in spring 2025, we've got the Nike Air Force 1 Low Year of the Snake. I think this one actually looks really nice, and I think what kind of makes it more wearable is the fact that it's quite sort of a plain sneaker, and I think Air Force 1 does well when it's kind of plain. I think there's very few colorways that work when it's multicolored. And I kind of like the pattern on the back, just on the heel area. It just looks really cool to me, and quite sort of minimalistic at the same time. And then this is another one that's releasing in spring 2025, and it's the Nike Dunk Low Ghost Denim, and this is another denim version. I'm sure they're going to be sort of comfortable, but again, Dunk Lows aren't my thing. And judging by what's releasing next year for Nike SB so far, not a fan in all honesty. This one's the red Dr. Stardust version, and again, it's I like the SB Dunk Lows, but this particular one I'm just not a fan of. I think it's okay, but nothing special. And also, same for the Nike Kobe 5 Year of the Mamba, and it's coming out spring 2025. And again, just, it's good for the basketball court, but not for everyday wear, in my opinion. And also in spring 2025, I think this one's quite nice, the Nike KD4 Real MVP. There seems to be a lot of extras that come with it as well. So, it's a nice looking pair, especially for the basketball court. Not sure if I'd wear, these casually, but they do look cool. And something I am a fan of, and because I'm just a bias towards Air Max models, especially the earlier 90s Air Max models. And this one I'm sure will be very, very popular as well, which is the Patta Nike Air Max 90. And, it's got the signature sort of wave pattern going around it, which is to be expected. And in all honesty, it's a nice colourway as well, so I'd definitely be up for this. And then finally, we have the Jordan 7 RM. I'm a big fan of the Jordan 7 model in general. And I think this one is, it looks nice, and it's kind of taking the inspiration from obviously the high and converting it to a low, and maybe doing some, bits and pieces in terms of changing it. It's not like bowled me over completely. It's still rather an original pair of Jordan 7s, but it's a good effort. And maybe they're doing these to appeal to the younger crowd. And it seems to be, maybe they're choosing models that typically been sort of high models. I know there's been Jordan 7 lows that come out previously, but they don't seem to be that popular. And maybe this is a, sort of going towards, grabbing a younger audience.